We are in a series called ASAP. We've been talking about the people from Luke chapter 7, except for last Sunday. Last Sunday was Easter Sunday, so we talked about people from Luke chapter 24. But Luke chapter 7, we've been talking about the people from Luke chapter 7, how the people who wanted to meet Jesus ASAP, as soon as possible, and desperately they wanted to see Jesus. And today is the last part of series. We're gonna go to the Gospel of Luke, chapter 7, verse 36. We got longer passage than usual, to 50. Here we go. I'll read the passage for you. When one of the Pharisees invited Jesus to have dinner with them, he went to the Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. A woman in the town who lived a sinful life learned that Jesus was eating at the Pharisee's house. So she came there with an alabaster jar of perfume. As she stood behind him, at his feet weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears. Then she wiped them with her hair, kissed them, and poured perfume on them. When the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, if this man were a prophet, he would know who is touching him and what kind of woman she is, that she is a sinner. Jesus answered him, Simon, I have something to tell you. Tell me, teacher, he said. Two people owed money to a certain moneylender. One owed him 500 denarii and the other 50. Neither of them had the money to pay him back, so he forgave the debts of both. Now which of them will love him more? Simon replied, I suppose the one who had the bigger debt forgiven. You have judged correctly, Jesus said. Then he turned toward the woman and said to Simon, do you see this woman? I came into your house. You did not give me any water for my feet, but she wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You did not give me a kiss, but this woman from the time I entered has not stopped kissing my feet. You did not put oil on my head, but she had poured perfume on my feet. Therefore, I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven, as her great love has shown, but whoever has been forgiven little loves too little. Then Jesus said to her, your sins are forgiven. The other guests began to say among themselves, who is this who even forgives sins? Jesus said to the woman, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. Lately, I kind of start wondering, when your birthday comes or your friend's birthday come, I don't know what you do. But when my friend's birthday comes, I usually think of things that useless things that I can get for the person whose birthday is coming. Kind of things this person would never buy. Because only on birthdays they can get those useless things. Not on their own initiative, but my own initiative. So I came up with sometimes I buy my friends really useless shirts. It says silly things. But I kind of started wondering, what are their expensive yet really useless things. So I a little research. So I'm gonna share the information with you. The first thing I'm gonna show you is the tea bag encrusted with diamonds. This tea bag was created in 2005 when the English tea company PG Tips celebrated its 75th birthday. The cost of the cat is estimated at $10,000, which makes it the most expensive in the world. The most expensive tea bag in the world. Tea bag. Okay. The bag is handmade by masters from the British jewelry company Boodles. It is decorated with 280 diamonds, and inside it is ordinary tea. I know. What does it taste like? It tastes like just regular tea, but it has 280 diamonds, and it costs $10,000. Next, this is a clip from the Prada brand. Conventional clips are quite inexpensive, but the Prada clip was not created for stationery stores. It's a silver clip for money from this brand is sold for $185. Little clip, $185. Next, this luxury item is part of Spring Summer 2007 collection. It's a boomerang, luxurious boomerang. Okay, collection from the Chanel brand and cost $1,325. However, the problem with the project subject is not only in its price. The brand has criticized the indigenous population of Australia. Chanel was accused that the brand is trying to make money on traditional Australian culture, thereby insulting the indigenous people. Anyway, it was an issue. So it's a boomerang, luxurious boomerang, $1,325 worth. Next, it's a shopping bag for purchase from Balenciaga. The French brand Balenciaga sells its shopping bag for $1,130. It seems that the bag is made of plain paper and looks like a paper handbags, which are issued in boutiques for free. And this is a paper bag made in Italy, but her handles are made of leather. And inside the bag, you can find silver details and pockets with a zipper. Despite its price and incredible resemblance to free paper bags, the Balenciaga bags had already been sold at the brand's online store. It's sold $1,130. Next, please. Golden brick. Lego. In February 2017, the auction house Tawiki auctioned one of the most rare details of the Lego designer for $20,000. Like this small, okay? The detail is made of a 14-karat pure gold. However, only 10 of these bricks between 1979 and 1981 were produced, which were intended for the most important business partners for the company, as well as the most valuable employees who worked in the Lego team for at least 25 years. So if you work in the Lego company longer than 25 years, if you are considered the most important or most valued employee, you can get the golden Lego brick. Isn't it awesome? And it's $20,000 worth. Okay, next. The most expensive toilet paper was created by the Australian company Toilet Paper Man. This 3-ply paper is made from 24-karat gold. And according to the company's website, while using this paper, using this paper, I'm not gonna say on which part of your body, okay? We're using this paper, the golden flakes will fall to the floor, lifting you to a new level of sophistication. Now on the company's website, one can roll approximately 1 million. I can't even count with that much money. Okay, almost is $1,231,575. Okay, all those, like I said, expensive. Yet, well, I'll say, I don't know about the other items, but I guess toilet papers can be very useful. Oh, how about this? Let's say you really have to go. You're walking on the street out there. But that moment comes, unexpectedly, and you feel like I really need to go. And you went into the public restroom, and you took care of the business in there, and then at that moment you found that there's no toilet paper, and I am sitting in the next spot, and offer you that golden toilet paper, and saying, this is $1 million worth toilet paper. When you use it, the golden flake. Okay. Would you purchase that? No. Okay. I won't go any further with the condition you have then. Anyway, what we're trying to say here is realization of the worth of certain thing, right? Realization of worth of certain thing. Because that's what we do all the time. We try to estimate the things we do, things we have, like things we experience. We try to estimate, we try to measure how much, what really is the worth of that experience or that item, That's what we do constantly. When you let's say after this worship, you go for lunch and then you go, let's get a burger. How much is it? You try to measure up, you try to estimate the real value of it, the realization of the value of what you're experiencing or the items that you have or you're seeing. Today, story we just read, a similar story. It's a similar story. Jesus is having a party, having a dinner or meal with people, and there's a lady, a girl, who's well known as a sinner. I don't know what kind of nickname you ever had in your life, but if you ever had the sinner of the town, that's a shame, right? Like, oh really? I don't want that nickname. But this woman had that nickname. Everybody knew that. When she came in, everybody, oh, the sinner of the town is here. And she did something. She poured out the little oil over Jesus' feet, and she was weeping. And go to people like, if Jesus knew what kind of woman she is, I don't think, this wouldn't happen. Realization of the value. So this lady was mistreated, and she was not getting like the respect. But I kind of experienced a similar thing before. Years ago, I was invited to speak at this gathering of people who were physically, mentally challenged. Okay, so it was a church, one of the churches in Taejon, and they were using the facility. So they were having the gathering. I was invited to speak there. I did my thing. So after the thing, it was lunchtime, and they told me that we want to feed you too. So we want you to have lunch with us. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then somebody told me, if you go to this cafeteria, there's a table and there's a little label on the table says guest speaker, pastor. Okay, so we want you to just go sit there, and somebody gonna be with you ASAP. I'm like, I can do that. So I went into the cafeteria, look around, and there's one table, like she said, label guest speaker, pastor. So I'm like, okay, that's what I see. So I went there and I sat down. Right after I sat down, there's a woman from the church. I don't think she's involved with that group, but she's still a cook lady for the church. And she came to me. She's like, I think she's in like her mid-50 or almost 60. And she was looking at me and she said, this is table for guest speaker pastor. I'm like, yeah, I know. And then she goes like, no. This table reserved for guest speaker table. Pastor. I'm like, yeah, I know. And then she went even slower. No. This is the table for guest speaker pastor. I'm like, thank you for guiding me, but I'm already here. And she was like, and left. At that moment, I was actually thinking she was guiding me. She was just explaining, this is a seat for you. This is a table for you. I'm like, thank you, So I was grateful. But later, I realized that she was not really thinking that. She was thinking, this seat is for guest speaker pastor, but somebody who doesn't look like a guest speaker pastor is sitting there. And then she goes, no. And she went even further. She repeated herself even more slowly later. She was like, hey, this is for guest speaker pastor. Because she thought I was one of the people in that mentally, physically challenged people group. So she was explaining slowly so that I can understand. I was okay when I was listening to her. Like, okay, thank you. I didn't really get it. But later I realized, I was like, oh. And then I was thinking, what is in me that make her think that, I do have high respect for those mentally and physically challenged people, but maybe I do have something in me that gives people the impression that I am somewhere challenged. I'm like, really? But if you look at this story, this woman is, not treated really fairly. She's treated she's mistreated. And they took it like, people in that room took it like, obviously she doesn't belong here. She's not supposed to be here. I just share my story with you and just sharing this story from Bible with you. But this is the kind of feeling we don't want to have. We don't want other people to like treat us some sort of like, oh, you're behind, you know, you're not like one of us, you don't belong here. We don't want that kind of feeling in our lives. So that's why we really work hard. We do our best to be treated with the respect. That's why you do what you can do really, really hard. Work on your thing at work, in your family, at any place you are in. You want to get that respect because you don't like that feeling. There's a guy who attends our church in Seoul, and he's an entrepreneur, and he started with nothing, and then everything went well. So he made fortune. So his business went really well too. So and he started coming to our church, and we were happy for him, and everything was good. Everything was going great. And then some things happened. He invested a certain amount of money in the stock market. It didn't go well. So he literally lost most of it. And he's been really sad. And he kept calling me. And I'm like, I had some meals with him. I prayed for him and all that. And one day I told him that, brother, I call him brother, let me get this straight. I heard that you started your business with nothing. He goes, yes. And you made some, yes. And you became very successful in your business, yes. Now you lost most of it, but still got some left, yes. I don't understand. You still got something then. Looking back, when you the moment when you started, you didn't have anything. Now you still got something. Is it why? I don't understand why you're sad. And he goes, no, I'm not there yet. I don't get the respect that I deserve when I actually was at the peak. I don't want to lose it. I want everything back. There's an actress who attends, again, one of our churches in Seoul, and I had a conversation with her too. She loved acting, and she started her career as an actress, and it went well. So I think she made like one or two movies appearances, and she was happy. And then her career stopped there. And then those people who worked with her, they went further. They made some of them made a top movie star spot. And she came to me, Pastor Sonny, I have something to talk with you. I'm like, okay. And then she was like crying. She's saying, I don't understand. All my colleagues, like not all of them, many of my colleagues are now super movie star in Korea. How come I didn't get to make it? I made a certain level, but my career stopped there. I want to go further, but it's not going anywhere. I blame God for this. So I'm like, I try to comfort her and try to say some encouraging words and all that and pray with her. And then later, I said, but I don't understand. You start with nothing, and you made certain movie appearances. Isn't it already awesome? The fact that some people around you went further and made a top spot doesn't necessarily mean that you lost everything. You still got something. I don't understand why you're sad. And she goes like, no, I'm still sad. Pastor Sonny, what you're saying is right, but I want more. I can't be satisfied where I am. There's a guy, again, attended at one of our churches, and he came to me and asked me to pray for him. I'm like, oh, I'll pray for you. What should I? What is it that you want me to pray for you about? And he says, an election is coming, and he's running for that position. And then, but he's again made a certain level already, but there's a top position that he wants to run for. An election is coming. He's like, Pastor Sonny, I really want you to pray for this. I really gotta get this position. I gotta get elected. Okay. So I pray and all that. And then later I said, let me get this straight. So you start with nothing. You know where I'm going with this, right? You start with nothing. You made it to a certain level. Hey, haven't you got already enough? And even if you lose the election, you got a lot in your hand already. Then he goes, I cannot be satisfied with this. I gotta get that position. I gotta get elected. And hearing all those stories, I kind of sense that it doesn't really matter how much you have, how much you achieved. You want more. You know why? Because you want the respect. You want to be treated as a somebody who's, everybody honors. You feel like, no, Pastor Sonny, I've been just surviving. I was just doing my best to, the given situation. Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. But looking back in your life, what you've been trying to do, going to school, studying hard, working really hard in your career, all that to get a certain thing. You feel like, I want to be treated fairly and with honor and with respect. You don't want to be mistreated. But Jesus actually thought differently. Everybody in that room was like, she's a sinner. She should be mistreated. She doesn't belong here. And those people who judged her, they thought they were actually above her. They got social status-wise, they were somebody. Because we've been working hard. We got this respect, but she didn't. But Jesus thought differently. We had this flea market kind of thing at Riverside Church yesterday. Let me show you the photo. Can you show the photo, please? Yeah. Riverside Church, they had this yesterday. So many people came. And we had this like almost annually before COVID. And it's been a while since we had this last time. But we had it yesterday. Anyway, so before COVID, we had this annually. So years ago, almost 10 years ago, when we do this, our church people come and they sell things. Interestingly enough, they are the sellers, but at the same time, they're buyers. I found this this is very intriguing, when we do have, I know TCIS has this kind of thing here, right? It's like in May, it must be coming. But something interesting about this event is people bring their stuff and they sell their stuff and they buy their stuff and they pay. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Anyway, years ago, we had this and one of our church people were serving as a seller. And she had a son, I think 9 years old, and he played in the Little League baseball, and he brought his baseball glove and played catch with his friends a little bit, and then he got tired of it, so he came to his mom, who was selling stuff, and asked her, "Mom, I'm done with catching. Can you just keep my baseball glove? I want to go out and play with my friends." And she was busy. She was fully occupied with selling stuff. I was like, okay. And then he left. Baseball glove was there. And what happened is, she was too occupied with her job. Somehow she sold the boy's baseball glove. But it wasn't just a baseball glove. According to the boy, this is the baseball glove he's got from his daddy. His dad had played baseball with me, and this baseball glove, this boy was, this is my daddy's baseball glove. It's very meaningful to me. And then he valued it so much. Now, his mom sold it. And she asked me, Pastor Sonny, that night, it was Saturday night, Pastor Sonny, this is what happened. And our son is crying. He's crying because his mom sold his precious daddy's baseball glove at the flea market. I don't know how much she actually got for this. So we really need to get this back. Can you help us? So the next day, during the worship, in my sermon, I made the announcement. So this is what happened. This is a thoughtless mom for our church even sold her son's precious baseball glove. So if anybody actually purchased this among you, please return this to the boy. And then later we got the text from the person who purchased the glove, and we got it back and we gave it to the boy. I'm going to show you so that's the gentleman who bought the glove, baseball glove, And he texts me saying, I have it. I think this is it. So the boy's family went to his house, got the baseball glove back, took the photo, sent it to me, saying, okay, case closed. Yes. Thank you, thank you. The boy is happy. You can see he's happy, right? He's happy. So his parents sent me more photo. Can we show? You see? This boy is happy, right? It was like 9 years ago, almost. He still plays baseball in a high school level. Can you show me the next photo, please? Oh, this is the text I got from his mom, basically saying the boy was really concerned. He crying all night, and she's saying, thank you for finding that baseball glove and returning that back to me. Anyway, so next page, please. I baptized him last year, and he still plays baseball. Next, the high school level. He's playing and working hard to get drafted to the professional level within 2 years. I mean, think about it. How much do you think that little baseball glove actually was in terms of money? I don't know, like 20,000? I don't know, 100,000? But to the boy, hey, Steve, can you show us the when he was boy again? Okay, but to him, listen, it was priceless. We try to get the things we think which will enhance the value of our lives. Oh, this work is gonna add more value to my life. If I become a better mom, if I work hard to be a better dad, if I actually do this certain thing, it's gonna add more value to my life. We work hard. But actually, all those things you may pursue, it can be money, fame, success, whatever, it won't do it. Something that's priceless gonna really add real value to your life and my life. That's what Jesus is actually saying. You think she's a sinner, but I think not. I think differently. Now she's pouring out, this oil, and she's crying with me. That heart is priceless. That heart she has for me, that's gonna bring value to her life. How it's gonna work then? How it's gonna work? When I went to States after I finished my junior high here in Korea. When I went there, my family heard that or found that getting a haircut in States is very expensive. So many families in the States, they actually do give haircut to their children on their own instead of going to like barbers or like beauty salon. So my mom heard that. She was like, that's a good idea. I'm like, I'm gonna try that. So one day she was like, hey, okay, Sonny, I'm gonna give you a haircut. I'm like, what? Okay, sit here. And she got the scissors and all that, and she gave me a haircut for the next 3 hours. She gave me a haircut like this side, and she gave me that wondering face. And then she went to the other side and cut more. And she was like, and went back here and then cut more. And I didn't have a mirror to look at. But she was the only one who was looking at everything happening. And like, it was happening for 3 hours. And then I'm like, Mom, what's going on? What's going on? And she did her best. And then after 3 hours of her amazing work, this is what she said. She gave me a $5 bill. And she said, three brutal words. Get yourself a hat. You're like, get yourself a hat. So it hurt me really bad. I got traumatized. So you must be wondering, how bad was it? Years later, when I was in Korea, I actually got a haircut from a barber's. And it kind of reminded me of the look that I had when I was in high school. And I have a photo of it. So I'm going to show you how I looked when I was in high school, when my mom gave me a haircut. And even back then, years ago. Can you give me? And it was me. Okay? It was that bad. Do you remember this guy? Those who've been here for a while. His name is Michael Card. He's one of the very famous Christian singers in the States. He wrote a song, El Shaddai. Anyway, he came to CIC to perform, and I was his translator back then. Funny thing is, I was working with them a few days, and then got a haircut, and then went back to work with him on the students at the school on the stage, back of the stage. And he was looking at me. He laughed at me so hard. He was like, "Whatever happened to you?" But one thing I didn't really understand. I know my children were laughing at me. My wife was laughing at me. Everybody was laughing at me. But I was like thinking, Mr. Carr, I don't know if you deserve to laugh at me. I don't know if you have a right to laugh at me. I don't know if you are qualified to laugh at me. I don't know if you have the thing that you're laughing at me with right now. Okay, I'll stop there. Anyway, so that's me. There's a trauma in me, okay? Getting a haircut at home, bad. COVID happened, and I couldn't go anywhere to get a haircut. And my wife goes, "Okay, you're not going anywhere to get a haircut. I'm gonna give you a haircut." I'm like, "No." She said, "You don't have any choice." And she made me sit, and then she worked on me. But last time I had it, went 3 hours. It took me only like 30 minutes. And then she did a really good job, and I was really happy with it. She still gives me a haircut. And she didn't really stop there. She perms my hair too. So this is what I got. My wife Steve, can you show me the next picture, please? Okay, from that to here. I'm like, wow. Amazing thing is, when my mom gave me a haircut, my heart was broken. Okay, and she gave me the money. I'm like, she didn't really say this to me, but she was basically saying, "Okay, hide your shame now. You're my shame. Hide it. Get yourself a hat." But I had that broken heart, the trauma, the old wounds. But after that, after my wife beautified me, that wounds got healed. I'm like, wow. Because I remember those days. She made me from there, moved me from there to here. This is called grace. Jesus saying, let me tell you a story. There are two people who owed money. Okay? A lot, little, they're all forgiven, all taken care of. Who would be more grateful? The one who owed more, right? Jesus saying, listen, remember, again, come on, Steve. Remember those days. We're thinking, I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna work hard to be better mom, better dad, better employee, better whatever, better pastor. But it will not make you a more valuable person. It will make you a busy person. It will make you sad person. It will make you a person who's disappointed. Only when we think of grace, something priceless, we realize that, wow, though I was nothing, you made me something valuable. How can we believe that? When my daughter Jenna, when she was 9, she drew this picture for me, and I really wanted to show you this picture, this drawing, because it will show you how much I work, how hard I work on this. Okay, can you show? Okay, that's a drawing my daughter drew. Okay, let me explain. That's me working on computer. In that balloon, it says God blah blah blah. It says God blah blah blah. So I'm working on my sermon. Okay, that's me working on my sermon. And there, she's not in the drawing, but she's saying, "Daddy, play with me. Daddy, come and eat." But your precious pastor not even turning. Why? Because your pastor is working hard on his sermon. God, blah, blah, blah. You see, you can see even 9-year-old girl who lives in my house saying, your pastor is working hard. For your I know some of you say, Pastor Sonny, all those funny jokes, you probably didn't prepare. No, this is what I do. Amazing thing is, she still doesn't give up on me. You know what she says on the top? It says, 아빠 힘내라. It's like, go daddy. My daughter was demanding, like, if you're saying that I am precious to you, you're saying you love me, then she's saying, if that's true, I want you to spend your time with me. I want you to be present with me. I want you to play with me. I want you to be there in my life with me. But you're too busy with your sermon preparation because you probably love your church more than me, which is true, by the way. I love you guys. What does it say? If something is valuable, what do? You pour out everything you have. When you say you love somebody, you pour out everything you have. When we go, I don't believe that, God. I don't believe that your grace really is a proof of my value. And God is saying, listen, then look how much I gave up for you, what I have poured out for you, and showed us his one and only son getting humiliated, tortured, and crucified on the cross. We work hard, we live hard, we do all those things as a student, as an employee, as a mom, as a dad, we do that. But let me guarantee you, it won't add any value, any true worth to your life. Maybe by money, sure. Yet, the true meaning of your life worth, it won't go any higher. But our God is saying, listen, broken body of my son, blood my son shed for you. This is the proof how much I value you and how much you matter to me. And this is a true value of your life. And I want you to remember that. This time I'd like to invite you to the Lord's table. As you come, as you partake the little cracker and dip it in the juice, I want you to remember the broken body of Christ. It's not just religious belief. He's basically saying, you know what, broken body of mine, this is for you. I know you work hard, you do all those things in your life to become a more expensive person, to get the respect. You don't want to be mistreated. You don't want your children to be mistreated. You work really hard, but listen. It won't come from that. Who you are, what you are, it only comes from broken body of mine, the blood that I shed for you. So as you come, partake, when we remember that love, that sacrifice of cross. And when it becomes real in your life, in your heart, all those things you pursue in your life, you realize, yeah, worth something, yet it's not worth like who I am. So I'd like to invite you to the Lord's table. Would you please come and join?